بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My dear students, today we are going to talk about two important consonants in English. They are very special in terms of their pronunciation and in terms of their distribution as well. Okay, these consonants are the consonant le, which is, as I said, a very special sound because it is the only sound that is produced when the air goes out through the sides of the mouth rather than the center of the mouth. If we take examples from other sounds in English, let's, for example, try pronouncing the sound th, the, de, se, ze, sh, f, v, k, g. In all these sounds, the air passes out through the oral cavity and more specifically from the center of the mouth. The only sound that is produced when the air does not go out through the center of the mouth is the sound le. So why do we have this non-central air flow? Actually, in the pronunciation of the sound le, part of the tongue is raised to be in touch with the roof of the mouth, with the alveolar ridge and the area after the alveolar ridge. But the tip of the tongue, or while the tip of the tongue is in contact, the sides of the mouth are lowered. The sides of the tongue, the sides of the tongue are lowered and they are not in complete contact with the roof of the mouth. So only the tip of the tongue is in contact. That's why the center of the mouth is closed, while the air can pass through the sides of the mouth. If we try now pronouncing a long le, maybe we can feel that there is no air flow coming out through the center of the mouth. You can feel that your tongue is in touch with the alveolar ridge, but the sides are not. Okay? Now, to make sure that this sound is a lateral one, you can say a long le, then you take the air inside the mouth. You are going to feel cold air on the sides of the tongue rather than on the center of the tongue. Now I'll try. I will pronounce the sound le continuously, a long one. Then all of a sudden I take the air inside the mouth. I can feel that the sides of my tongue become cold because of the cold air coming inside the mouth. I want you to try this at home so that you can feel the cold air on the sides of your tongue. Okay, so only the tongue tip is in contact with the alveolar ridge, but the sides are not. The sides are not. How to practically prove that la is lateral? It means a non-central sound. Let's try another way. In addition to the second one I've mentioned a minute ago, that is to pronounce and all of a sudden you take the air inside. Let's try the other one, which is to produce alliterations of dala, that is to pronounce one after the other. And I want you to feel the difference, because da is also alveolar, but in da we have a complete contact between the tip and the sides of the tongue with the alveolar ridge, with the roof of the mouth. While in la, only the tip is in contact while the sides are not. The sides are lowered. Now let's try. Now you can also feel that in the pronunciation of da, there is no chance for the air to go out, while in la, there is a chance for the airflow to go outside the mouth. So it's a stop sound while it's a continuous sound. Okay, we can go on pronouncing the sound as much as we have air in our lungs. Okay, so this is why la is called lateral. Lateral means in the pronunciation of this sound, the air passage passes through the sides of the mouth rather than the center of the mouth. Okay, now the la sound is called an approximant sound. Actually, this is another name for the word, for the sound la, but we have the same explanation for it. Now, approximant sounds are the sounds produced when two articulators come close to each other, but there is no clear contact between them. However, in la, we have contact, but this contact is not a complete one. So we have approximant sounds like ra. We are going to explain it later on. We have ya, ya, ya. Again, we have approximation between two articulators. In la, we have that approximation between the sides of the tongue and the roof of the mouth. Even though the tip of the tongue is in touch, it's in a clear contact with the alveolar ridge. So this is called approximant. Why? Because the sides of the tongue approximate the roof of the mouth, but we have no clear contact between them. This is in terms of the pronunciation of la sound. We said that it is lateral. The air goes out through the sides rather than the center. It's approximant. The sides of the tongue are in approximation but not in contact with the roof of the mouth. Now, why la is special in terms of distribution as well? It's also special, خصوصية, because we have two allophones of the sound la, and this allophonic variation depends on the position of the la in the word or in the syllable, to be more specific. To begin with, let's agree that we can find the sound la initially, that is in the beginning of words, medially, in the middle, and finally. Okay? So the sound la can be found in all positions. These are examples: light, little, link, sleep, sleep, below, and we have skill, ball, call, kill. Now, so we understand from these three examples that the la sound can be found initially, medially, and finally. But when the sound la is after a vowel, it has a certain pronunciation that is different from the sound la when it comes before the vowel. So before vowels, we have an allophone of la. After vowels, we have another allophone of la. Basically, we have two allophones of la. The first one is called light la or clear la, clear. And we have dark la. Look and listen to my pronunciation. L, 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 l. So l is light, while l is dark. It's the difference between link and kill. Link, kill. Okay? Now, how to decide if this la is to be pronounced as dark one or light one? Normally, before vowels, la is light, such as long, lesson, and lose. Look, there is the la sound. After, we have the vowel. But if the la sound comes after the vowel, it's gonna be dark. That like ball, kill, bottle, kill, ball. It's not ball, not kill, not bottle. It's bottle, kill, and ball. Okay? These are the two allophones of la. Now, light and dark la are in complementary distribution. How is that? Maybe we are going to talk about this question when we meet in the Google Meet and discuss the lecture. What is the description of la? How to describe the sound la? Also, I want you to think of possible answers for these two questions. Now we go to the consonant ra, which is another special consonant in English. The consonant ra is also special in terms of pronunciation and in terms of distribution. In terms of pronunciation, the sound ra is called an approximant sound. Again, we have an approximation between the organs of speech. The tongue is raised to be approximate, to approximate the roof of the mouth, but we have no clear contact between them. If we make a clear contact between the tongue and the roof of the mouth, the result will be a ra that is not English-like. مو إنجليزي يعني اللفظ. We cannot say r, r, ra, ra, ra. No, this is not an English ra. And also we cannot say the English as wa, wa, wa. In the first case, we let the tongue hit the roof of the mouth, and in wa, we let the tongue lower than required. النزلة أكثر من اللازم. That's why it becomes like wa. So wa is not correct, ra is not correct. So how to pronounce the sound ra? The sound ra is pronounced when the tongue is raised to be close to the roof of the mouth, but there is no clear contact. And the pronunciation is like ra, 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 ra. Read, 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 okay? It's not weed and not read, okay? Actually, you need to practice. You need to practice in order to be able to pronounce this sound in the correct way. Now, what is the difference between the pronunciation of da and dra? I also want to discuss this with you. We need to focus on the pronunciation of the sound dra, because even though it is found in many languages, its pronunciation is different. Now let's take an example. The ra sound in Arabic is different from the ra sound in English. Even though, for example, in the recitation of the Holy Quran, we should pronounce the ra that we discussed here in English. We should not say r, and we should not say ra. هذا الحال يسمى التكرير باللفظ أو الترعيد. This is not acceptable in the Holy Quran recitation. Okay? The same thing in English. Okay? Now, we have actually, we need to pay attention to 2 points in the pronunciation of ra sound. I've already explained them, but I am going to rephrase them here. First of all, don't raise your tongue more than required. راح يطلع الرا. Don't keep your tongue down inside the mouth. راح يطلع wa, wa, wa. Both of these pronunciations are incorrect. Now, the description of the distribution of ra. No, the description of ra. I leave this for you. Now let's talk about the distribution of ra. In some accents of English, ra is pronounced in all positions, initially, medially, and finally. But in other accents, the ra is only pronounced when it is before vowels. When it is after vowels, it's not pronounced. In British English, for example, the sound ra is not pronounced in after the vowel or in final position. If we take the word car, in British English we say car, car, car. There is no ra because it's here what? It's after the vowel in this word. While in a word like, for example, ring, we have the sound ra. Okay? Ring. Okay? We have the sound ra in this case. We pronounce it because it is before the vowel. Before the vowel. Look, it's before the vowel. But if it is after the vowel, we do not pronounce it. This is called non-rhotic accent. Non-rhotic accent. هذه non-rhotic accent. إذن British English is a non-rhotic accent, while American English, which realizes ra initially, medially, finally, after vowels, before vowels, are called rhotic. I mean general American English and the some other accents of English, they pronounce the ra sound initially, medially, and finally. These accents of English are called rhotic accents. Rhotic accents. Okay. Now I think this is enough. Inshallah, we are going to talk about the topic in details. Inshallah, in our Google Meet. Thank you very much for listening. Hope to see you again.